From the corner. Oh, it was another free header inside the penalty area. He stays in the area. He's going to roll this. The shot is going to be shot in pretty low in the end. Might have been going wide. Tambakis has no issues with it in the end.
And that's one of those set pieces that you can add in. There's not much that you have to practice with that one. It's really a discussion between both players and seeing the separation between the wall and the 1v1 matchups to the right of that wall.
It does seem like both teams have fallen a little bit flat so far on set piece opportunities.
They have, and
maybe from open play, New Mexico can create something here. Bruce made a good run, but not good enough. It's in an offside position for him, and it fizzles out for New Mexico yet again.
And they have, and both teams are going to look at that and at least want to put a ball in that tests their opponent, whether it's testing the goalkeeper or making defenders move. Neither team has done so thus far. Keep going back to the Mijatovic opportunity, but that was a ball that went out of bounds and came back in, but still finding himself free there centrally. And an area for New Mexico United that they could see as a positive phase for them in terms of the physicality, the ability to impose those runs.
Akale to the arriving Gloucester. Tries to return the favor. A little give and go between those two continues. Bailey, Micheletto. A shot is going to be driven in. Bruce blocks it. Micheletto volleys it wide of the goal, and Romero was certainly interested.
Looked like Hosu tried to tee it up from right here. Ends up catching Bruce, and a little bit of a set for Micheletto.
Might be the closest New Mexico's come in the match so far, and then it's a challenge that comes in from behind. And I think Eric Quill has just been given a yellow card on the New Mexico bench here. One back by New York City. A shot's gonna come in! And it's flashed just wide of the goal from Piero Elias.
Unlocking that space, whether it's on the dribble, quick combination, being a bit tighter with their teammate.
Oh, that's a really good ball into the middle. Calhera. Oh, it's a follow-up shot from Jimenez, blocked by Maples.
The respect from the individual players for New York City, the technical ability.
From the corner, another chance in the middle of the penalty area. It's going to go out of play. New York City will be going from right to left at the start of the second half, with a place in the quarterfinals up for grabs in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. 109th playing this tremendous cup competition. Again, Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky, happy to be here with you as the sun has long since set here in the Big Apple. A lot of positives for both teams to take out of that first half. One big notable, Eric Quill was booked in the first half for New Mexico, so we'll keep an eye on that. But more importantly, for New York City, Tanasijevic on a yellow card. So no subs for either side. And we will see how those different moments and things play out in half number 2.
And the yellow card on Tanasijevic coming off one of the better transition moments from New Mexico United. The ability to find Flanigan up high and Bruce introducing himself into that run, forcing Tanasijevic into a foul. But as you mentioned, positives from both sides. Now it's sustaining those positives, because you've seen both sides control moments of the first 45. What adjustments were talked about at halftime? And how do you implement those adjustments? And we mentioned it in the first 45. You have to believe that both these teams were disappointed in their set pieces. They put themselves in good situations, just unable to get the delivery that they wanted.
That's going to be a foul on Mijatovic going through Maples. It'll allow United to reset. Ooh, that's going to be threaded up ahead. Akale is in behind for New Mexico. He's going to cut this back, and it's wonderful goalkeeping from Tomas Romero. He had an extra second to react. He snuffs it out.
And you said it, terrific goalkeeping by Romero, because sometimes in this cutback, you get caught on your line and you hesitate. No hesitation, came out, made himself big, and impacting that play, turning something that could have been very dangerous to something almost routine for Romero.
Now then, here's Baera for New York City up the other end. Some lovely skill. He tries to cross it. In the end, it's Hosu who was able to stifle the New York City attack.
And in no way did we think that you were going to witness like a loud discrepancy in physicality. But credit to New York City, you have not seen that showcase itself tonight. I mean, they've been up for the challenge physically, whether it's the aerial duels, whether it's the shoulder to shoulder, the 1v1s, the set pieces defensively.
And to your point, Coach, Matt Pilkington in each round before they've played a USL Championship side has talked about the physicality and experience they have to go up against. They've handled it, and a chance here to score, but it's going to go wide of the target, and Mijatovic saying that there was a deflection on it. Referee says he missed it without any contact, and it's a goal kick after a golden chance.
And this is another turnover for New Mexico United. Good patience by Jimenez, and just pulling that left-footed take. And well wide at that point. Trying to argue that it was deflected, but clearly pushing that.
Live, it looked like there may have been a touch on that, but Joshua Encarnacion on the scene gets the decision right. Good job by our center referee. That was just completely slashed wide of the target from Mijatovic at close range. New Mexico let off the hook, and they have a chance to respond at the other end with Avion Flanigan. Flanigan, oh, it's brilliant! Avion Flanigan fires New Mexico ahead. He scores a marvelous goal.
But it becomes an angle where, for New York City, you're almost preparing to deal with a service, and Flanigan head up. Just a punishing strike, left-footed. You get the numbers, you're trying to match up defensively. Flanigan makes no doubt about that strike. If you want to hold on and...
Oh, tempers fraying here as a challenge came in from Owusu, who's frustrated for New York. Eric Quill and the New Mexico coaching staff were asking for a card there on the far side. As you can see there, it boiled over for both groups. Tambakis came way off of his line to come out and have a word. That's former teammates right there trying, or at least former club mates trying to get after it. Oh, and Owusu, you could see there, kind of clamped down on Michieletto. Eric Quill with his arms extended as if to say, how is a card not coming out there? But it's because, of course, the referees have to look at a potential pushing and shoving match that's occurred, and now Marco Micheletto's not happy. We still don't know the card situation yet.
Yeah, and in that replay, you could tell why New Mexico United was so animated after that foul.
Now what helps Jonathan Encarnacion here is the fourth official had a great view of that on the far side, and there's going to be at least one or two players summoned here, I think.
And as you mentioned, there wasn't an opportunity to card it.
Marco Micheletto is going to be yellow carded, and Samuel Owusu gets a straight red for New York City.
And in a moment, and this is where the frustration is, the physical play right there, and no reason you're still trying to find ways to equalize, find a game winner, move on, advance. So those are things that you're not gonna.
Oh, lovely ball over the top, and it's volleyed wide by Daniel Bruce, who had the goal at his mercy. He comes in to try and close more of the gaps for New York City's defense.
And they know the longer that this game stays at 1-0, the better opportunity they're gonna have with 10, 15 minutes left to.
That's a miscued header, beg your pardon, by Baera. That's a cheaply given away corner for New Mexico here.
And that's where, for New Mexico United, you want to push for that second goal. You do not want this game to linger at 1-0, because with 10, 15 minutes left, New York City is going to understand that regardless of the scoreline, if you don't equalize, you're out of the U.S. Open Cup. So you throw numbers forward, you create any sort of havoc that you can.
Ball is sent in and it's touched in. And the goal is given. John Taylor Maples celebrates. It's 2-0 for New Mexico. And you can hear the late reaction of goal confirmation celebrated by the traveling Albuquerque support.
Just knowing that it has to be guided into the corner. And this is what happens when you put traffic, you bump runners, you create space like that.
And if New Mexico advance, could get really hot in the Open Cup moving forward into a potential quarterfinal.
And a player like Hurst, where with less than 7 minutes remaining, you know he has an eye for goal.
Akale could open up here for New Mexico. It's going to be bent across. Chance to finish the job. Oh, it was played across towards Hurst. Not cleared yet. Akale! Hurst! Saved by Romero. Brilliant save to keep New York City with a heartbeat. Mijatovic up the other end. It's headed back for Tambakis. That would have sealed the deal. Six minutes left. It was Astorga who controls there and had one of the opportunities up the other end.
And there's going to be a lot of positives for Eric Quill's side, but I also still think they're going to look back at this game and see areas of improvement as they not only go through the USL Championship season, but
Akale deflected on the shot in behind. It's a New Mexico corner, and Eric Quill's boys are smelling some blood in the water.
But as they look to advance in the Open Cup, and I know it as a coach, and I know it being around teams, is you always love to be able to collect wins in advance and still have moments where you're learning and you're growing. You can always have those lessons in losses and defeats, but when you could feel like you haven't put together maybe a collective 90 minutes or a complete 90 minutes, but you still end up with a 2-0 win.
Greg Hurst, Romero saves, header is in. Anthony Herbert seals the deal for New Mexico.
Have set pieces, you have those defensive players that are looking for opportunities to score goals. And you had one in Maples, and now you have one in Herbert, just beating his player, Calhera, inside to that inside shoulder.
Flanigan scored the opening goal early in the second half, and it unraveled from there. It's a memorable night for New Mexico United. It is their joint best run ever in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. They head back to the quarterfinal stage.